All right, we're back after some unfortunate technical difficulties. Someone decided to phone call me at 7:30 on a Thursday. Don't they know I'm recording a podcast episode? Ridiculous, absolutely
Who would who
ridiculous.
would who would dare to call you at this hour? You know.
My friend, he called me. Probably wants me to go hang out with him down in college or something. It's like, leave me alone, man. I'm trying to record. Anyway, back to what we were saying
Yeah, let's take it from the
about
top. It's from
yeah,
Static
yeah,
Sport.
yeah. About the Ravens' offense before the last game versus the Titans, which they did stop them in a 2-minute situation. Actually, no, they didn't. They did give up points. The Ravens actually did give up a field goal. They didn't give up the touchdown. That was what the Titans were going for. But so actually, that makes it eight straight 2-minute drives that the Ravens have given up in crunch time, quote unquote, either at the end of the first half or the end of the second half, or in overtime. What Voss, what are your thoughts on it? Is that concerning to you? Do you think the Ravens defense has an issue in clutch time?
I don't think it's a defensive issue. I think that's the nature of football, NFL football in 2023. It's very hard to stop a team and just shut them down when they have 4 downs to work with and they're chasing points late in the game with the way the rules are called. You have, we saw in this game, how many DPIs and illegal contacts and stuff did we questionable did the refs call against the defense? I do think it's somewhat a product of not having as many ball hawks as the Ravens had in years past. That there's no way to shut down a drive quicker than picking a ball off. And Marcus Williams, who is one of the better ball hawks in the league, has been hurt a lot. And, they moved on from Peters. And maybe I think it's really just the offense isn't. I think nowadays you kind of have to lean on your offense to put a game away. And I think that's potentially something that falls at Harbaugh's feet. I think I mentioned the story before about during the 2012 game, and I went to the game. Back then they were the Redskins, and they ended up, sitting on the ball at the end of the game, punting it away, going overtime, lost in overtime. They're just very passive, and I made eye contact with Harbaugh and said, "You got to be more aggressive." And next thing you know, Cam Cameron was fired the next morning. But I do think that's part of Harbaugh's DNA, that he just wants to ground and pound and make it a devalued position game when it's close, and it doesn't always work anymore.
Yeah, I think there's a few products to go into it that you've hit on. There is the factor that it kind of just how the NFL is nowadays, where you're probably getting some lucky penalties and such. But it does concern me just a tiny bit that that's happened so frequently. But on the flip side, your offense really isn't giving you a lot to work with, especially when they're going conservative and they're going three and out. Basically, all of like from 7 minutes into the second quarter until like the three like 10 minutes into the third quarter, like that time span, the Ravens offense is going run pass, run pass, run pass. And they keep putting themselves in negative game scripts like that. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the other stat that we want to talk about, was that the Ravens have, over the past 3 years, since 2020, they have lost 10 games up two scores, and that would account for 43% of their losses over that time span. So that's bad. That one's the one that really like gets me very annoyed. That it's another product of conservative football. You have to, and in this NFL and in this day and age, you have to keep throwing the football down the field. It doesn't matter if it's a 50-yard pass or a 10-yard pass. You still have to push the football down the field. You just can't go into this turtling shell mode where you're going to just run the football and try and grind clock when you're better off. You have drives of 9 passes and still take 7 minutes off the clock. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
I completely agree. I think it's the organization as a whole, I believe, fell in love with the 2019 model of just dominating teams on the ground, running the ball. And some of it is the league caught up to Greg Roman's scheme. Some of it is Lamar might not be as agile and elusive as he was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Your offensive line's not as good. But I think that's reflected in a lot of the decisions they've made the last few years. I mean, looking at the way they went into the season last year with the wide receiver core that everybody knew was substandard, but they just figured, well, we're just going to – and Harbaugh was probably like, hey, we can play Bo Schembechler football and still get praised as innovative at the same time. This is perfect for me, But I think it does need to change. I think it will change. I think it's mostly on the offense. A lot of these games – the defense gives up a late touchdown, they lose the game, and you look at the scoreboard and the other team scored less than 20 points. I mean, you can't – or 20, mid-20s points. You're not putting that on the defense. You're putting that on the offense this day and age. So I really think the solution is to put more points on the board on offense and everything else will fall into place.
I agree. I see some people wearing throw the ball or run the ball hats. I want a hat that says throw the football. That's what I want.
Throw the ball. Establish a pass.
Exactly, and I guess this would well we got to get in the film watch first, but
go ahead, make a point.
Game, throw the football.
Yes, and on that note, let's get into the film watch. Yuri broke down 7 plays from week 6, and let's get into it. Nope, it's the wrong one. Hold on a second. That's the one we want. That's the one we want here. Week 6 versus the Titans.
Remove from stage. There we go.
We good? We up?
Yeah, we're up. We're good.
All right.
This has been a good one. This has been a good technical difficulty episode. We're doing.
And now I have my dog barking right next to my desk. So
I thought it was
to block that up. So we're gonna start this off with one of Lamar's best plays of the game, or best the best offensive play. A little bubble screen to Nelson Agholor.
Yeah, so we got into it a little bit in our chat, but I feel like I've never seen Lamar not only Lamar will check into those alert routes, like those small, if you remember 2021 versus the Vikings, they checked into a lot of alerts to Hollywood Brown.
Mm-hmm.
But they were never screen plays. They were just alerts. They were just stop and turn right when right at the line of scrimmage and catch the football and go. But I don't remember him changing a whole play like this. At least in my eyes, I've seen him audible before, but I think that and another kind of evolution of the offense is how the more freedom that Lamar Jackson gets, the better the offense is going to get in my eyes. The more things he's allowed to change at the line of scrimmage and identify and be a quarterback and, be an NFL quarterback like he is and do those things, check those boxes. I think that's really another key to the Ravens offense opening up.
Yeah, this was a tremendous audible. You got a 7-man crowding the line, and Lamar goes to the hot route, and you can see Ronnie lets his man go and gets to the second level, makes a nice block there. Very good decision by Lamar.
Yeah.
And I mean, one more. If whoever that was, number 0, was that Byard? Might have been Byard. If he doesn't get that shoestring catch there, he's gone. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, at the bottom of the screen, number 7. I think if he just puts a hand on this guy, it might be a touchdown.
He tried to get there. He just, I agree. Yeah.
I don't know. He's skipping around. Come on, let's how John Harbaugh's system works. Get a block to get plays.
He's the X factor the rest of the year, I think. I really do.
I would agree with that, but I think he needs to play harder.
So here's another Lamar audible. You can tell it's an audible because the Agholor tells Flowers what the play has been changed to here. If you can see it right there. See, he's telling
Yeah,
us.
and
Lamar changed the
and
play.
Aguilar does that. Aguilar does communicate a lot on the
Yeah.
audibles. He did it the play before, and that's that's what you expect from a vet. But here, this is good to see. And I think
Yeah.
another player that maybe could be another evolution, another level forward for the Ravens offense is maybe getting 60% of Odell Beckham, 65%. I think that would be really good. You have him out there and him to just keep making plays like that, just big plays, big, high leverage moments. I think that's something that could be really important going down the stretch here. So this was good to see, and this was a pretty good throw. And once again, just highlighting Lamar audibling and another beater of zero, another pressure look, and this whole point that's made by media and all this. You send heat at him, you send heat at him. Lamar hasn't had the chance, and when under Roman, really, in my opinion, to kind of write his own answers, to write his own book, write his own paragraph. And now, under Monken, it seems like it's changed, and zero really hasn't worked.
Yeah. And I read it as I go into the next play here. I'm reading Nate Tice. Is this the next play? Let me pause it. Nate Tice put out an article today, I believe, just talking about how scoring is way down across the league. Explosives are down, passing and running the ball. Defenses are just playing better, and coordinators are just not giving up the big play. They're calling a lot of cover 3, a lot of cover 2 that turns into cover 4, and zero. Zero is the key for why scoring is down, because in the red zone, they're calling a lot of zero blitzes. So I mistakenly played this one again. This is always the bugaboo, is trying to get these plays.
Shout out to Garnett down in the comments. What's going on, Garnett? How we doing?
So here we have the Ravens' lone touchdown of the game.
Yeah, so this is why you pay Lamar Jackson $260 million, because he can make plays off script like this, and a play that is in concept dead. And this is also why he drafts Zay Flowers in the first round as well. Another player that it's so great to see them have chemistry early on, and this is just one of those plays that if you're a defensive coordinator, you just chalk it up. Well, Lamar beat us. Yeah,
that's one of those Flowers and Lamar really have a strong connection on those broken plays. He found space there, got open. Andrews was bracketed, so Lamar had to go to his second option. His second option wasn't James Prochet, and he was able to do something with it. So good play all around. I think Flowers should be a really potent weapon in the red zone moving forward. It was only a matter of time until he got his first tutty.
Yeah.
And this is Devin Duvernay's 70-yard kick return.
Yeah, so nothing to highlight in terms of blocking. I just wanted to toss in a little special teams play. Special teams this year has been pretty down. They had an extra point blocked as well in this game, which is bad. But just wanted to highlight. I think if this was Devin Duvernay before he broke his foot, this is probably a touchdown. Yeah. But unfortunately, doesn't have that just quite that juice anymore. But
he said that punter got up to like 19 miles an hour or something like that, something close. It was pretty impressive. I actually did think there was a good block here. Arthur Mollett, number 10, springs in. Mollett's right here, hits that. It's that nice seal block, that nice seal right there. And I thought that was really the block that sprung him. Watch it on the end zone on the end zone view, because Mollett is really paying dividends on that veteran minimum contract so far. Gonna have a tough test this week coming up though. So here's Mollett right here. Boom, and takes out 2 guys really. Good play. I have an inkling, a suspicion that special teams may be the difference in this game coming up in week 7, but I'm going to save that for our preview portion.
Garnett said that he said the Madden rating of the punter is 85 speed. So you always trust Madden. You gotta trust the ratings.
Deep scouting reports there, G. We want to get the Madden rating of everyone. So yeah, you have Marcus Williams single high. Or no, is that Geno? That's a Geno pick.
Geno.
Huh. All right, break it down for us.
Yeah, so we talked about it earlier in the season of having Geno Stone and Marcus Williams at split safety, and they're on that play. They're out there at split safety, so both those was good recognition by Geno. At the beginning of the play, you'll see him break over and kind of read the quarterback's eyes. Underthrown ball. Ryan Tannehill really doesn't have a strong arm anymore, and it's just just a good play. Geno Stone's going to make himself is making himself a lot of money this year. I think it's the cat's out of the bag. Is that the right saying?
Yeah.
The cat is out of the bag, and
the dogs are in the house.
Yeah, someone is probably going to pay him more than what we are willing to pay him. And
he's playing single high pre-snap, and he shows really nice range there. Yeah, I would like to keep Geno and Matabike. I'm not so interested in keeping Queen for positional value reasons, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Everybody wants to be a little bit pessimistic about the cap, but they can keep paying it, pushing it forward, and then do a reset 4 or 5 years from now if they so choose, which actually would be what I recommend. But if this damn thing would go to same play again. I actually practiced going to the next one, and not enough apparently. Didn't do 10,000 hours. So we have a nice stunt by Kyle Van Noy on this one.
Yeah, and Justin Madubuike lined up at edge and just bull rushing his guy back.
Exactly.
This is like the Madubuike, I don't want to say breakout game, but like this is probably as close as you're going to get to a breakout game. Like he had what, 2.5 sacks, 3 sacks?
2.
2? Okay, so yeah, I thought this was a really good game from him. I thought this was a good game from Van Noy, good game from Clowney, good game from everyone up front on the front seven. And, kind of like the JPP signing last year, and you see Van Noy lined up on the inside, just another very, very useful piece to come through in the middle of the year.
Yeah, Madubuike, he's a prototypical 3-tech. So to be able to line up there and just totally bull the left tackle is very impressive. I do a snap counts article every week for Baltimore Beatdown, shameless plug. And Madubuike logged almost 80% of the defensive snaps, which is a huge, huge workload for a defensive lineman. Usually they top off at 60% or so. So yeah, he's also having a hell of a year. I don't think he's a $20 million defender, but he might be a $12 million defender, and I wouldn't hate that contract if they can make that work, because the way things are looking, pressure is front 5 wins games.
Definitely. And the throw of the week. The throw of the week. I know it's not as good as the one he made in 2021, but this is what you would qualify as a jump pass.
Yep. It's both feet off the ground. So yeah, Aguilar on the crosser. Simpson gets across his face, gets whipped. Moses getting pressure, and Lamar has a unique ability to stand in the pocket, make a guy miss, and deliver the ball better than pretty much anyone else. So yeah, good to 3. I was wondering if this was a throw of the week, because we didn't parlay on this before. I thought maybe the dime he hit to Andrews would have been the throw of the week, but I like this one as well. Let's watch it through one more time.
That was a good one. The Andrews one, I thought that was a really good one, but
yeah,
I just think this one required a little more effort.
Yep. So that'll conclude our Yuri's All 22 film review. What a nice ring to that one. And let's look forward to week 7 a little bit. Lions 5-1. Darlings of quite a few. A lot of Lions fans in social media, really feeling themselves. What are you looking for on offense? Let's start on offense.
So I've seen a lot of crazy.
I'm just catching up on Garnett's comments here because I can't see it when I'm sharing screen. The light-skinned Jim Leonard.
I've seen a lot of crazy stuff flying around about the Ravens offense and what the Lions are going to do to stop them. And former Ravens coach Chuck Pagano is on the 33rd Team Football podcast, and I was listening to their preview of the game today. And Chuck, I respect his opinion. Former Ravens coach, all that stuff. So they said, and this is so confusing to me. And in the year of 2023, is they said that make Lamar stand in the pocket strong, and that's how you're going to beat this offense. I'm like, that's like that would be like the opposite. I would rather at this point, I rather want Lamar running and instead of standing in the pocket. Because he really did rip through the Steelers, and if someone had any stickiness on their gloves, they would have. It's just whatever. Like that opinion sucked. That opinion just sucks. It sucks in 2023. It sucked in 2022. It's so annoying. But anyway, I think the Ravens offense. I think they're favored. I think they have a better pass offense than their pass defense. Chip Hutchinson a couple times, and that'll be in the cards for us. Make sure don't let him ruin the game. I'm not familiar if he lines up primarily on either side of the ball.
I think he's going to be going after Moses most of the game. Most of the reps I've seen from him this season, he's attacking the right tackle.
Okay. So maybe bring in Ricard or another tight end to chip him a little bit. And I think Garnett throws out some wild stuff, and I'm trying to process in my brain. He's just flying it out there.
The leader of men. Well, I agree with that. Who is a better leader of men? Who has better men? We just need a few good men. That's all, But all right. So first of all, I don't know. Tennessee and Pittsburgh and Cincy even and Cleveland, they know how to play Lamar. These NFC teams, it's like a whole nother, galaxy for them. They don't know what they're up against, really. I linked an article, one of my articles this week from a beat reporter from the Lions. They're like, well, if we can just slow down Lamar, that's the key to slowing down their offense. Like, yeah, no kidding, except no one can, So I definitely agree with you on chipping Hutchinson. Detroit is fourth in pressure rate so far this season, and that's with bottom third blitz percentage. I do expect them to blitz a little bit more. They have some pretty good middle of the field defenders. Brian Branch, the rookie out of Bama. So I don't think this is going to be necessarily a Mark Andrews smash spot. This is more of a game where you're going to have to involve your perimeter wide receivers and take advantage of the weakness of their defense, which is their perimeter boundary side, field side corners. So, and the other thing is they need some explosives. The Ravens are one of only 4 teams this year that have not scored a touchdown when the ball was snapped outside the red zone. So they're just not getting those chunk plays yet. I think this could be a game where that Aguilar, tunnel screen goes the distance, or something of that sort.
Yeah, the last comment I would add is maybe not a Mark Andrews smash game, but I need Mark Andrews to do a little posterizer on Jack Campbell's little head. I think that'd be good for me. I know this is gonna sound crazy. The Bengals. I don't really hate the Bengals or anything. I really don't hate the Browns. The Steelers, it kind of feels like that rivalry's a little dead. But the Lions, I really don't like the Lions. It has nothing to do with their fans, everything to do with their offseason. I think their offseason sent me into a mental escapade, and there would be nothing better for me this Sunday to just see the Ravens offense put up 35 points and really, take this NFC team to school that's, in my opinion, overperforming a little bit.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think they are overperforming. They're kind of like, to me, they almost are like a Ravens little brother light. They're kind of like a regular season team, hard nosed, smash mouth, really good offensive line, pretty good defensive front. Um, that doesn't necessarily translate when you run up against real true contenders, as we saw in the early years of Lamar Jackson's tenure when the Ravens built their team that way. And now they have pivoted, thankfully, and I think they just have better personnel. Flipping over the defensive side of the ball, they do have a very strong offensive line. Ragnow is one of the best centers in the game. Penny Sewell is one of the best tackles in the game. Their top back, David Montgomery, is out, so it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. That's probably going to put a little bit of pressure on Malik Harrison, setting the edge. And the inside backers just fit in that run because he might not, get the most out of every attempt, but he does have that breakaway speed. So you really want to try to bottle him up. I think this is also a game where McDonald can use his schematic prowess to confuse Goff a little bit with some disguised coverages. Goff is playing above his skis, in my opinion, this year. I think he is, what's their offensive coordinator's name? Ben Johnson. Yeah, he has him really dialed in, but I don't think his talent supports necessarily his production when faced with high leverage situations. So they do present a little bit of a unique challenge with both the power running game of, say, like a Titans, but also the slot receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God, who is one of the best, probably the best slot receiver in the league. So it's not a game where you want to necessarily bring Kyle Hamilton down to be big nickel to help support the run when they have a tough slot receiver to defend. So I actually would deploy Marlon Humphrey in the slot a good bit this game. I think that's something they can afford to do with the other corners stepping up, Darby, Yassin, and Stevens. And I think that might be, and then you keep Kyle Hamilton on the back end. It might give you kind of the best of all worlds.
Definitely. I feel good about our defense heading into this game. I think like you said, the offensive line the Lions have is very good. It's probably one of the best pass protecting offensive lines in the league, if not the best. I think the key to me is don't let Jameson Williams get behind you. Don't let him make a big play. And I think the Ravens win this game. I gotta take. I know it's Amon-Ra St. Brown is good. But in my opinion, and I'm going to wait to put this clip until after we win the game. If not, we're going to wipe it off the face of the earth. In my opinion, Amon-Ra St. Brown is like the Austin Eckler of wide receivers, where he's good for fantasy. A lot of people hype him up. But when it comes time to win football games against teams that matter and go out there and do it, I don't think he's that guy.
Yeah, I think he had some good, game-breaking plays towards the back end, like in fourth quarter overtime, where it's like a zero blitz and he catches a little slot fade and takes it distance. I think maybe Jacoby Myers might be a little bit more of that guy. But anyway, I got to shout out my buddy Evan, my cumbaro. If we don't turn the ball over, we win. I think that is a recipe for winning the game. And let's get into our predictions if you're ready. Ravens are favored by 3. The point total is set at 42.5. Score prediction and props you like.
So, before I make the score prediction, I got to say if like the Ravens, I have so much ammunition saved up from Lamar Jackson jersey swaps to. That's all right, Garnett. Just save it for Sunday. It's all right. Put it out now. I don't care. I'll take the heat. From Lamar Jackson jersey swaps to takes on taking a linebacker and a running back in the top 20. I have so much ammunition ready. If the Ravens don't win this game, I'm gonna my heart's gonna fucking explode. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Ravens 31, Lions 19. 19.
19.
I just think the Ravens have an edge here. They match up well. They match up against Laporta well. They match up against Williams and St. Brown well. They match up on offensively. They have better outside threats than the Lions have defensive corners on the outside. And this is what happens when you, and it's probably gonna sound bad, looking back if we lose. This is what happens when you take a linebacker and a running back and you ignore outside perimeter corner in the draft. Is you just set yourself back another 3 years. But prop time. I'm going to go with Zay Flowers over. I think it was over 3.5 catches. It might be 4.5. Over on that, and then over on 50 yards as well. Put those two together, and then I am gonna parlay that. And maybe there's a little bit of optimism. I'm going to go with the Rashad Bateman. I'm going to go with the Rashad Bateman game. Give me. I want his over on his yards, which they're low. Last game he hit the over. It was like 14.5. I'll take the over on his yards and anytime touchdown. Those are my 4. I think the Ravens receivers are really going to carry us to victory Sunday.
I like that. I would love to see a Bateman game. I think you see a Bateman game, and this team. This is a Super Bowl caliber team. I'm going pretty much chalk. So the Ravens are favored by 3, total of 42.5. So I'm going 23-20. Good guys, Baltimore at home. I think it is going to be tough, and I think this is why guys like you and I have been pounding the table for an upgrade of talent at wide receiver for the last 4 years, is so when you meet a team like this, you can actually take advantage of their weakness. And their weakness is definitely at cornerback. They're out their perimeter cornerbacks. As far as props, I like Lamar Jackson over 222 passing yards. I like Odell Beckham over 23 receiving yards. That's probably my favorite one. And I also like a defensive/special teams, and I'm going to probably earmark it special teams because I'm just kind of feeling that special teams, little suspicion that, they got a little special teams magic coming this week. So a defensive or special team score is plus 600. I think that's a worthwhile little sprinkle, little cash on that one.
It would be very fitting if this game ended in a Justin Tucker game-winning field goal. I don't doubt you can bet that, but it seems like that's all these end in is Justin Tucker game-winning field goals.
Yeah. So any thoughts on Thursday night before we do our upset of the week? I think I hit 3 in a row for the record. Just saying.
What upset of the week?
Yeah.
I can't remember who mine was last week. I don't remember.
I'm claiming 3 in a row whether I did or not.
Yeah. Right. Write my upset of the week down when I pick it.
All right.
So tonight, I think one, I have the Saints winning. But 2, if we're talking about props, I am undefeated on the year in props on the Thursday nights. You've seen the Laporta 50+, the Howell over 1.5 touchdowns and over 1 yards. So we're doing good on the props. And we're gonna come back here again. And we're going to go with Christian Kirk is plus money for 60+ yards. So I like that prop. That's plus 108 or so. And then my alternate prop with that one as well is going to be Alvin Kamara over 25 receiving yards.
I like that one.
It's not too aggressive, but it is good enough. So I like those 2 props. And I like, if you want to, I'm not going to do it because I don't know what's going to turn out in this game because Lawrence is injured and all this stuff's happening, but you can toss in a little Saints money line.
I'm taking Jacks. I think Saints are down both their starting tackles, offensive tackles, and Penning isn't even supposed to start. Their former first-round pick. I think they have James Hurst and a converted guard starting a tackle. I think Jacksonville's defense is a little underrated. They're flying on the radar a little bit. I know Lawrence is hurt, but I will take the road favorite in this one. Transitioning to upset of the week. Not a whole lot of good options this week, to be honest. What are you looking at? Upset of the week.
So I was looking at it earlier, and I think what I did last week. So last week, I remember what it was now. Last week was I picked the Chargers were plus money over the Cowboys at home.
Yeah, that didn't work out too good.
And guess what I'm going to do? Again.
Chargers over the Chiefs?
Chargers over the Chiefs.
Oh, shit.
If the Chargers drop the what? They're 2-3 right or 2-4 right now. They dropped they dropped the 2-5. That season's done. There's no way they go rip off 8 or 9 straight. They have to win this game. Justin Herbert's gonna have to play out his mind with one finger on the hand. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. I'm going with the Chargers. I like, you know what? If you pick them enough times, they'll win.
Hey, hypothetically, potentially. So Denver plus 1.5 hosting Green Bay has a little bit of appeal. Denver's offense has been pretty good, although their defense has been horrible. And that is a tough place to play for a young team like Green Bay. But I am going with the Miami Dolphins to upset the Philadelphia Eagles as my upset of the week. They're getting 2.5. I didn't check the money line, but probably like 180 or so, plus 180, something like that. I think they have better personnel. Jalen Phillips should be back to test that offensive line. Philly has just not really put it together this year. Hurts may have regressed a little bit as a passer, and A.J. Brown is doing great, carrying a couple of my fantasy teams. Love that guy. But I think Miami has what it takes to pull off the upset. They're just playing better right now, and especially if Lane Johnson is out. So give me Miami as my upset of the week.
All right. That game was tough. That game was tough to pick when I was doing my picks for the week. I was like, they're at home and stuff. It's going to be a good game, though. I think it'll be a nice, explosive game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I like what Miami has. I like the talent they have and where they have the talent with the 2 receivers, obviously, and some pass rushers. And Javon Holland is, I believe, the only safety graded higher than Geno Stone right now in PFF. So, and my boy DBU, Jalen Ramsey, hitting back on the practice field this week. So, good vibes in Miami.
Definitely. And Deshaun Elliott as well, who's also, I think, graded number 7th in the NFL as a safety. So, shout out to the Joker.
No doubt.
Yeah, I think that'll just about do it here for our 26th episode. And, feeling good. I have, look out on the timeline if the Ravens win, because I have I got a lot of ammo. I got a lot of ammo saved up, and I really am ready to fire.
Unload the clip. Unload the extended magazine.
I so much. It'll be glorious. As Garnett says, FS poo. Shout out to the Miami Hurricanes that handed us a nice win last week. It'll be FS poo and UNC in the ACC, in my opinion.
Well, number 4 in the country, number 6 in the recruiting rankings, and number 1 in my heart. What else you need?
Yeah, you need all the good recruiting you'll get, because I don't know where. I think UNC is like number 18 in recruiting or something. But guess what?
Better than Miami. Better than Miami.
Yeah, better than Miami. That's right.
It's especially because right. Florida State's about to take all their 5 stars that they always do.
Yeah, that's right. But appreciate everyone for joining, Garnett. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.